Hello and welcome to this video about Liquify and Distort. Now there is a document here, you can open it up. It's simply a gradient background. And then I'm just going to grab a script, a font I should say really. I'm going to use the Lust script here. It's from the Adobe fonts. And I've set it to 50 or 60 and I've just put some text in there. So we're going to just look at how we can sort of liquify and distort and sort of modify. There's a bunch of different tools there that we can use. The one thing that we do have to do though is change it from a text, so the font, and actually create outlines from it. And then from there, so once we've done that, then you can sort of grab your direct selection tool. You can see the points, we'll sort of see that. And then there's a bunch of different tools that we can apply there. And yeah, this will be just sort of exploring. I'm not going to do them all. You can see examples of them all here, but just to give you a feel for it. So really, it's just for you to experiment and try to understand what they do so that you ever need to, change your text up, you can. So I've already opened that thing and I've already written Walnut Grove here. I'm just going to zoom in on it. So when I click on this text, or even on the direct selection tool, you can't see any of those points, right? There's no anchor points or anything there. So in order to do that, we need to go under type. And just like it said, we're going to put the, where is it here? Create outlines, there we are. And so once we've done that and you go to the direct selection tool, you can see all those anchor points there. All right. Now what we're going to do is grab one of these ones that are here. So you've got a width tool, warp tool, twirl tool, pucker tool, bloat, scallop, crystallize, and wrinkle. And all of them can, modify, and it doesn't have to just be text. It can be any object, right? That you can use these, but we're just using text at the moment. The width tool, a little bit different. I don't know if it will work. Let me just make sure I'm on the right layer here. Layers. I'm in the right layer. Yeah, I don't know if the width tool would be as useful here. What it can do is vary sort of the width of certain things, but like I said, I don't think it's going to work too well. Let's see. I think I might have to be on this tool to get it to work. The other ones I know for sure. Sorry, I got the wrong one again. There we go. Yeah, I don't think the width tool works too well. Usually that's for lines and you can change the width of it. Let me just draw one just to experiment here. So if I do have that, just sort of make sure it's got a stroke on it. So I think with the width tool, you can sort of expand or thin things out with it. Yeah, so it doesn't work as well here because these aren't just lines, so that's why it's not quite working there. So let's move on to the other ones. The warp tool, so I think I do have to have this selected first. And actually I should select the whole thing, all the text. I guess now that it's all been changed there, I gotta select it all. There we go. And now I can try some of these other tools. So let's do the warp tool. And you see you get a brush. So just like in Photoshop, you can make that brush bigger or smaller. And then you can sort of push things around with it. Okay, so that's warping it, right? Try to click and drag and sort of make it a different shape. So that is the warp tool there. Now, if you do double click on it, you can get some changes here. So you can some options to change things, how it's working. So again, it's sort of like for you to play around because I could do a video here, but it's not too useful, just for you to sort of understand how it works. Take another look at a few others and go back to how that was. And so I don't know, let's the bloat tool, so that should make things bigger. Whoops. So the strength on that was very big. So again, if you want to change that, if you double click on it, you can change it around. So I think intensity, I could drop off the intensity quite a bit there and then just sort of see what happens. Yeah, so there it is. I mean, it's sort of, if you wanted it maybe more in the middle, that would make more sense. Let me just zoom out and move over here. Oops. And so if I wanted to, and I can change that brush size as well. Although I thought I could change it with that, but it doesn't seem to be with the what I did in Photoshop there. So if I make this say 200, okay, and there we go. Okay, so that's that one. So then Yeah, so then that might give you something, a little bit more interesting, perhaps. That's a little bit overdone there, but sort of to give you that maybe 3D look kind of thing. Okay, so feel free to play around with these and just try to understand what they do, right? I mean, like I said, it's just sort of knowing that maybe you might want to use these later on. You can. So it's up to you to try it and see what they do. All right, we'll leave it there for you to experiment.